So she's looking for the right skills and ability. To find this out, employers will ask you questions such as, what makes you think you can do this job? What kind of work do you want to do? Have you ever done this work before? You need to let the interviewer know that you have the skills necessary for this job, and if not, that you're a quick learner, or that the skills you applied in your experience are transferable. A common mistake people make is that they don't think through the skills and strengths they have, one of the main reasons someone would hire you. Then they're not prepared to tell the interviewer, here's why I can do the job, or here's why you should hire me. The interviewer is concerned about whether you can do the job. That's why they're asking the question. So be prepared to tell them what you can do. If you don't know what your skills are, try this exercise. Sit down and write what you know a lot about, what you enjoy doing most, what you are doing when you forget about time, and if you just graduated, what classes you got the best grades in. You can also ask your counselor at school to arrange for a test to help you identify your skills and abilities if you're not sure. So make sure you are clear on exactly what you can do for a company by knowing your skills.
What kind of job are you looking for, Brian?
Well, I'd like to work in a place where I'm challenged and have a secure, interesting job. Now, I know that starting out, I may not make a lot of money, but eventually, I'd like to make a good salary. I've been in college now for 4 years, and I'd like to be able to buy a new car and think about my future.
What did you think of his answer? Did it tell you anything about his skills and abilities? At this point, the interviewer is probably thinking of how she can cut this interview short. Let's try it again.
What kind of job are you looking for, Brian?
Well, I'm looking for a position where I can contribute my strengths as a writer, apply my thorough understanding of desktop publishing, my ability to take information and put it into an organized format, my strengths to work well with diverse groups of people, and apply my creative problem-solving abilities.
Good answer. But Brian couldn't have given that kind of answer if he hadn't done some research about the position, if there is a known vacancy, or had some idea of what the company might be looking for. The important thing to remember here is that Brian sat down and figured out what his skills were. The mistake some people make is they demonstrate the wrong attitude. Interviewers will ask a host of questions to find out your attitudes and whether you have personal characteristics they've determined you need to be successful. These questions range from, tell me about yourself. Why do you want to work here? What are your goals? How can you help our company? Your answers need to demonstrate your willingness to help the company be better and achieve its goals. Show them you're a problem solver.
So, Brian, why do you want to work here?
Well, I heard you're a good company. I had a cousin who worked here, and I hear you treat people pretty well and you offer good benefits. Now, I know I have to work my way up, but I'd like to get promoted and be with a good company.
Brian is displaying a what can you do for me attitude. His attitude suggests to the interviewer that he only cares about benefits and promotions, which translates to more money. You want instead to demonstrate a what can I do for you attitude.
So, Brian, why do you want to work here?
In the research that I've done on your company, I'm impressed with your growth. I understand that you've gone from the 8th largest to the 3rd largest publisher of textbooks just in the last 3 years. I want to work for the leader in the industry. I'm also impressed with your management philosophy that incorporates self-directed teams and encourages job routines.
What did you think of Brian's answer? Pretty good, wasn't it? The employer earlier in the interview had stated some of the qualities and experience she was looking for. Brian listened, stored that information away, and when the right time came, he used it to show her that he had what she was looking for. Interviewees tend to overlook one simple fact, that every company has problems, and they hire people to solve those problems. Companies are in business to make money. When they get things done faster and more efficiently, they make more money. An answer like the one Brian gave also tells the employer he's goal-oriented, profit-minded, interested in his career, and wants to commit to a good company. In other words, he's got the right attitude. So far, we've talked about the right skills and the right attitude, two of the areas the interviewer is looking for information on to help her decide if she wants to hire you. Consider what else Ms. Jones was thinking.
I want to know if he'll get along with others, including me. If he has leadership qualities, I need to know that he'll be honest and trustworthy. I wonder if he'll fit into our organization.
The key words here are the right fit. What does that mean? Well, it's tough to define, but basically the interviewer wants to know, do I like you? Will the people you work with like you? She will pick up clues about this by noticing everything, and I mean everything. Research shows that people make up their minds about how they feel about you in the first 7 seconds of meeting you. The mistake people make is not understanding how important it is to project a professional image. Do you stand up tall, look her in the eye, and give a firm handshake when you first meet? Do you sit up straight in the chair? This may tell someone how confident you are. How do your clothes look? Are your shoes scuffed up or just polished? Is your hair sticking up?
I see here that
Do you smile? Do you seem likable? Are you on time? If not, it could be interpreted that you can't keep appointments or commitments. All of these things, as small as they may seem, may tell someone how much pride you take in yourself, which may directly relate to how much pride you take in your work. The employer will also decide how she feels about you and how well you'll fit into the company by the way you answer questions. One of the biggest mistakes people make in interviews is not concentrating enough on their communication skills. By this, I mean not just on what you say, but also how you say it. The interviewer will evaluate your ability to communicate by asking broad, open-ended questions such as,
Tell me about yourself.
or something such as,
Brian, what personal characteristics will make you successful on the job?
I think enthusiasm, determination, teamwork, and self-initiative are important. An example of how I've used those skills was the time I volunteered at the senior center. See, I initiated a plan to put a lighted sign outside the center where we could announce events and activities.
they may ask questions about how you acted in your past to decide how you'll act in the future.
What didn't you like about dealing with the zoning commission?
I never thought about it in terms of like or dislike. I did learn a lot about the government and how things get done. But I just thought of it as figuring out how to bring two different viewpoints together and accomplish our task.
Another sign of a good communicator is someone who uses short sentences rather than long, drawn-out paragraphs, and the information they share is filled with specific examples. When making a point, think of a specific event or example to illustrate it. Then organize your thoughts like this. What was the situation? What did I do? What was the result? Anytime you can tell a story, it helps the listener follow you and supports and emphasizes your point. Another thing good communicators do is ask questions. But your questions want to illustrate your what can I do for you attitude. So don't ask questions about salary and benefits. Questions that are okay to ask are,
What are the responsibilities of this job? What are the expectations for this position? What kind of person are you looking for? What qualities would the ideal candidate possess? What kinds of problems would I be solving? Why is this position open? Who would I work for?
as you ask questions, you become a participant in this conversation, which remember is what an interview is. You're both sizing up each other. You're trying to decide if you want to work here, if you like them, if you'll enjoy the job, if the company is a good fit for you. Her answers to these questions will help you decide, and she's trying to decide if she wants to hire you.